Hey friend, it's Dara, and I just wanted to film my updated inventory for 2026 Project Pan, and this is going to be all my body stuff. I'm going to have a separate video for makeup and a separate video for candles. And I just wanted to ask before you get started if you could subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm really trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 550, I think, right now, and I would love to hit 1,000. I was gonna say I'd love to do it by my birthday, but that's next month, February 11th. So I don't think I have enough time, but that would be incredible if I could. But yes, if you could please subscribe if you ever found value in any of my videos, or if intentional living, beauty, project panning, things like that is something you're interested in, we would love to have you. And so let's go ahead and jump into the video. I'm going to start with my up-to-date inventory, and then I'm going to also show you what the shop looks like now that it's updated. So I'm going to start by going through my inventory section by section and crossing out everything that I have either used up or have donated to my sister and niece. So everything highlighted is going to be crossed out since that was from last year. And then the couple things that I decluttered, I'm also going to cross out. And then I'm going to reweigh everything and rewrite everything on a separate page. That'd be nice and neat for just for 2026. Then I have just a couple additions to the category. So for face wash, I still have the Dollar Tree Hydro Boost dupe, but then I also have the Pond's Cold Cream. Then for makeup removers, I still have the Elemis Rose and the Centella Oil Light remaining. And then for moisturizers, I still have the Embry Elise, and I'm also adding the Dollar Tree Wrinkle Cream. That I'm not going to be using up on my face, but it is technically a face moisturizer, which is why I'm putting it in this category, but I am going to be using it up on my body. So I finished my list, but I did want to say I also had to cross this out because I forgot this is the one that I used up. This is the one that I just repurchased. So these weights don't make sense. So this is our updated. So we have, like I said, the two face cleansers, 2 makeup removers, and 2 moisturizers. And what I did was anything that's from last year, I wrote the initial numbers in purple. And then the ones I just weighed them now for, this is January 1st. So this is in black is the new numbers for this year. So we're starting everything fresh. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my toners, treatments, serums, and masks. I did not finish any of these things in December, and I also did not declutter any of them. So nothing needs to be marked out, like nothing new that's not already highlighted that I've used up needs to be marked out. So I'm just going to transfer all of this to a new page and weigh everything. I will say I am very, very close to being finished this one, so I'm sure this will be finished by my next update, but I don't think anything else here will. This is just a very slow category for me. Okay, so there's everything rewritten, and I wanted to just call out that I have actually made a lot of progress in these Stridex pads. I mean, there's probably like a quarter left, and it went from 155 to 128, so I have been really, really trying to use those because they've been in here since the beginning of the project pan. This has, and this has. These things have all been purchased later, but those few things have been here since the start of Project Pan. So those are the things I want to focus on the most. So getting into the shampoos and conditioners, there are a couple things I fully used up. I used up the Tresemme one and the Head and Shoulders Bare, because this one is actually the repurchase. So those weights won't make any sense. And then I haven't, out of the first 2, I haven't used anything else up, and I haven't decluttered anything. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer those over. So some standouts here are definitely the shampoos. The Redken went from $614 to $570, and the Atique Solid, which I was really focusing on, went from $96 to $63. So I am really happy with those products. Now let me go ahead and bring in all the other hair treatment, styling stuff type of things, and we'll see how those changed. Okay, so went ahead and got all of those things done, and standouts are really just my Redken spray. It went from $313 to $287. Really need to try to get more use on my hair stuff so I can just get rid of it, because I'm not going to be repurchasing any of this except for another leave-in spray. So for the body cleansers and other, the only thing that has changed is I did use up 1 more Dove bar soap, so I have 10 remaining. And then like I mentioned before, I'm not going to be counting deodorants anymore because I've used up both that I started the Project Pan with, and now I just have the Mitchum that I repurchased, and I'm not worried about having it in my product pan anymore because I have that completely under control now. So yeah, the only thing that changed is the Dove, so I went ahead and rewrote everything. And now I just need to weigh everything again and update the numbers. So the most notable changes here would be in the Bath and Body Works. So it went from 197 to 140. And you can see I have definitely made some progress, and I'm really hoping I can get this finished before the next update because I'm really struggling through it. And then my bubble bath went from 720 to 658. I'm finally starting to focus on this a little bit. And my calcium remover went from 236 to 218, which historically is better than it's been, but still should be a little more than that, especially since this is kind of really a month and a half instead of a month. And now let me just go ahead and pull in all of my ointments. I went ahead and wrote what they were for my updates last year, but I have them over here and I'm gonna reweigh them and then we'll see where we're starting here. So I did not make any progress on the Elizabeth Arden one, which makes sense because that one has been back in the shop. I just wanted to make sure nothing's changed on them. But I have made some progress on the Aquaphor, the CeraVe, and the regular petroleum jelly. And it's my husband's actually kind of helped me use it up because he has eczema on his hands and he's been putting some Aquaphor on there. So that's why I do have a little bit of change. But once again, I really need to focus on this category, especially while it's winter and it's, you know, I'm like putting it on my feet and my hands and my lips and things like that. Whereas like during the summer, I really don't use it as much. So I'm hoping by next update, I can have some real progress on this category. So welcome to the bane of my existence, which is lotions. And then we have perfumes. But I'm really proud of myself with lotions in 2025 because I didn't get through as much as I wanted to, but as you can see by all the highlighters, I did get through quite a few. And I did not purchase any new ones. So, I mean, both of those are wins. And I will be decluttering one, and that is the pink peppermint from Lush because it stinks really badly. And this is from, this expired on January 2024. So this expired 2 years ago now. And it had smelled fine before, so that's why I was using it. But now it just stinks. And it doesn't look any different, but it just does not smell good. So I'm gonna just dump everything out, clean it out, and then put this in my Lush empties basket. These two are also technically expired, but they still smell and perform fine. But I am anticipating I might need to dump those before I can actually finish them up, but I'm gonna try to focus my best on them. So let's go ahead and rewrite everything on the next page, and then we'll get a new updated weight. So I just weighed everything with the lotions. Now I have not used the Lord of Misrule bar or the Celebrate bar at all because those were in the shop. I also didn't use the salicylic acid cream that was also in the shop, but I made quite a bit of progress on the lotion. It went from 202 to 84. And then same with the Pansy, went from 164 to 149. So those two here I have made decent progress on, but still for 1.5 months, it's not enough. I'm really going to focus on these two and this one here. So I went ahead and updated all my perfume numbers. And once again, most notably, I actually used 3 grams of my Chanel. That's quite a bit. And then 1 gram of Woody, 1 gram of the Gourmand, 1 gram of my House of Solage. I don't know how much I used the Burberry because I just bought this in December, so this is the first time I weighed it. But if you look at it, I have already used quite a bit of this, so I wish I would have weighed it right when I got it just to see, because I bet I've used at least 1 or 2 grams of that as well. And then for the Lord of Misrule, I've actually used 8 grams, which is wonderful. And that I have been using just by spraying on my bed. Like every now and then when I make my bed, I'll just spray like 3 or 4 sprays across it just to make the room smell nice. So I am actually really happy with this. Once again, it is kind of like 1.5 months of progress from my last update, but I'm happy to have updated my numbers and now I know where I'm starting from. And I kind of knew my Chanel would be a lot. My Chanel is really the one I'm trying to not focus on because I want to keep that one. Really, these two and the Lord of Misrule, I would like to get out of my collection. But the Chanel, the House of Solage, and the Burberry, I really like all 3 of those. So I'm not really worried about like them going anywhere. So I'm gonna try to focus on these 2 going forward. It's just hard because I kind of start getting bored. Fragrance is one of those things where like I'll get bored. Like I never get bored of the Chanel. But like with the Woody from Dossier and the Gourmand from Dossier, like I will get bored of those because they're just not my favorites. I think they smell nice, but I just need like a break from them, because once I have a break from them and then I spray them on, I'm like, oh, I really like this. But when I spray it like every day after a couple weeks, I'm like, I'm over it. Once again, that doesn't happen with my Chanel, but for whatever reason, for those ones, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with these. So I'm going to try to rotate them the best I can. Now we are to my favorite category, and that is my sunscreen. So I am very pale and I wear retinol every day, so I use quite a bit of sunscreen. I use much less in the winter just because for where I live, all winter long, the UV is pretty much 1 or 0. So, and I work inside, so I'm not out very much. It's too cold outside to really go out. So I don't wear it nearly as much in the winter, but spring, summer, fall, I wear it pretty much every single day. I will say though, one thing is that this is going to be no surprise to anyone who watches my channel, going to be decluttering this Vanicream. I just absolutely dislike this. It is white paste. It's like zinc butt paste for babies, and like I'm just rubbing it on my face. I hate it. So that's getting decluttered. But everything else is staying. Everything in the back is still like brand new. It hasn't been used at all, but I am going to go ahead and put everything here on another page and weigh everything in the front to have an updated amount. Okay, so I went ahead and updated everything, and the only one that's made any notable change is this one, because this is the one that I'm focusing on right now, and it went from 82 to 78, so 4 grams. So I pretty much wore it 4 times in the past month and a half, just because I pretty much use 1 gram per usage. So when I am using it like in the summer and whatnot, I basically go through this size every 4 to 6 weeks. But once again, in the winter, I'm struggling even to get through 1. But I have used up so many, and plus I used up more, earlier this year before I was project panning. And once again, I'm proud of myself because I have not bought anything since starting Project Pan. I have not bought one. And you can see like my list has significantly shrunk. So I am really happy with this, and I don't mind having extra sunscreen, but I do still want to get this down a little bit. I feel like having maybe 4 or 5 would be a more realistic number for me. So after updating everything, you can see that now on the 1st of this year, I have 70 items in my body category. I still need to do an update on my makeup and candle. Those will come very soon, especially my makeup, because I have a project pan coming too for that. But I'm really happy with this because, like I said, I started on 8/16, so it wasn't even half of the year. And I went from 121 starting to 70. And let me show you what it looks like here on my table, because if you look back at my other videos, this used to take up both sides of the table, and now it just takes up one. So as you can see, this is just like an overview of my whole collection. Disregard these 2 things because those will be decluttered, but everything else, this used to be like the same width, but my entire table, like both sides, not just one side. So, and which makes sense because I have almost reduced my collection by half. So my goal for 2026 is to have my collection down under 50. I think that's very reasonable. That's 20 items, but of course it also leaves room for buying some things. Like it's 20 things gone. So like if I buy 5 things, then I'll have to use up 25 things to have 50 or under. So I think that's realistic, but still like a good chunk of progress. So for now, my 2026 goal is to get down to 50 or less products. now that you've seen our updated inventory and the shop, I am just so proud to say that I am down to 70 items when I started at 121. And obviously I did make some purchases too. Not a lot. I'm really proud of how little I purchased, but I did make some purchases and some of them were completely unnecessary. Like when I repurchased my moisturizer, like I didn't have a moisturizer, but there was some, like my Burberry perfume, like that was not necessary. So there definitely was some unnecessary purchases, but overall I'm very happy to go from 121 to 70 items. And I really hope that you stick around and subscribe and stay tuned to see how much more progress we can make together. And if you are a project panner, please let me know in the comments. Please advertise yourself. It's such a great community and I would love to know if you're a project panner, and so everyone else can see that you make these types of videos too, so we can all watch each other and help each other and just encourage each other. So thank you so much for watching, friend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.